Welcome back to Grady Newsource. My name is Zach, and here's what's going on in the world of sports. The 2025 World Series matchup is set. The National League winning Los Angeles Dodgers will take on the American League champion Toronto Blue Jays. The Dodgers, behind superstar Shohei Ohtani and an incredible pitching rotation, are seeking to become the first repeat champion since 1999. The Blue Jays, MLB's only Canadian team, are making their first appearance since their last win in 1993. And hope their explosive offense, led by Vladimir Guerrero Jr., can overwhelm the defending champions. Game 1 is Friday in Toronto at 8 p.m. The Atlanta Hawks open their season tonight at home against the Toronto Raptors. The Hawks are looking to make the playoffs for the first time since 2023. Alongside star point guard Trae Young, who led the NBA in assists last season, the Hawks will feature some new additions like center Kristaps Porzingis and rookie Asa Newell from UGA. Finally, the Georgia women's volleyball team is on a 5-game SEC winning streak, propelled by a strong defense that ranks second in the nation in blocks per set. And I spoke to Kendall Kemp, who just won SEC Defensive Player of the Week for the second straight time, about her influence on the team.
Yeah, I'm just really trying to step into my leadership role, taking some time just to get my game going a little bit. Now that is behind me, I'm taking a step up with leadership, but I'm really just trying to be a familiar face that my teammates can go to.
Kemp believes that the team has the right mix of talent to continue its winning ways.
I hope we just continue to go up. We've been working so hard off the court just to make sure that our connection is there and making sure that we're having fun, and I hope we just continue to grow.
The team will next play Vanderbilt on Friday. A good opportunity for a win, given Vanderbilt is second to last in the conference.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zach Pascuzzi. Welcome to Grady Newsource. We begin with the signing of the first phase of the Gaza ceasefire agreement brokered by the United States. U.S. President Donald Trump and more than 20 world leaders gathered in Egypt today to sign the deal in hopes of bringing an end to the 2-year war between Israel and Hamas.
This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping, and praying for.
The signing came after Hamas released the remaining 20 living Israeli hostages back to their families. Meanwhile, Israel released nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners and detainees. People on both sides erupted in celebration as the news unfolded. Before heading to Egypt, President Trump laid out his desired vision for the war-torn region in a speech at the Israeli parliament.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region. I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
Despite the progress made today, many questions remain about lasting peace in the Middle East, including how Gaza will be rebuilt and how Israel's security will be guaranteed, including the full disarmament of Hamas.
Hey Lauren, and good evening everybody. I can tell you that in the last 30 minutes that we've been standing here right before they just closed the polls at 5, about 10 or 12 people came in to cast their early votes. We do have some updates on early voting in not just here in Athens, Clark County, but also in Oconee, Madison, Barrow, and Jackson. Now, keep in mind that these voting numbers are for the Public Service Commission elections only for the 2 commissioner spots. They are not counting any sort of local municipal or local elections that are happening across the different counties as well. Starting in Athens through about 4:40 today, we had 268 early voters. In Barrow, we had about 199 early voters through 4:30. In Jackson, we had about 289 early voters through today at 4:30. In Oconee, 282 early voters through today at 3 p.m. And then in Madison, we had only about 45 through today at 3 p.m. So we are seeing some pretty decent turnout there in the 280s, 260s, but then in Madison, just 45. Now, I did have the chance to speak with a woman who early voted today in Barrow County about why she chose to early vote and here that is for you.
Today, I was just walked right in and voted and was done, so it's just faster. And you can come when it's convenient for you, whatever day fits your schedule best, because it's like usually a 3-week window.
For Bashirs, early voting isn't just about the efficiency. She also serves as a poll worker, making it nearly impossible for her to vote on Election Day.
I've been working the polls for probably 6 years now, but the poll that I work at is not the district, does not correlate with the district that I live in, and so I'm not able to vote. I'm not ever able to vote on Election Day, so I have to come and vote early.
The amount of hard work poll workers do to keep elections fair and secure sometimes surprises even themselves.
I taught 3rd grade social studies, so I knew the branches of government, stuff like that. But as far as what they go through behind the scenes to check to make sure the voters are in the right place, the training that goes into it, the security, all the, you hear all these rumors about how elections can go awry. That cannot happen here.
A study from UC San Diego in 2024 found that turnout for presidential and midterm elections exceeds off-year election turnout. But in Jackson County, Kane was encouraged by the number of people that showed up.
I really believe that a lot more people are learning and getting involved, and they realize how important this is in their day-to-day life and the things that they need to vote for.
It's important to remember that early voting still has about 2 weeks left. It doesn't end until October 31st. If you're unsure about where and when you can vote, make sure to check your county's Board of Elections website or your government website. Back to you, Lauren, and make sure you guys get out to vote. I'm here in the Latin American Ethnobotanical Garden at the campus of the University of Georgia. Except if you saw the sign on October 8 or 9, you may have thought it was called the Ethnobotanical Garden of the Americas. That's because, in a move that was unauthorized by the university, the name of the garden, which has been around since 1998, was changed, catching students and staff off guard, in particular those belonging to the Latin American community. The move reportedly started with a misunderstanding by Chad Howe, director of the Latin American and Caribbean Studies Institute here at UGA. Just 17% of registered voters in Madison County participated in elections for the PSC and for renewing the county's SPLOST, concerning officials who believed turnout would be higher.
And for us to have our SPLOST renewal on this ballot is very concerning when you have that low of a turnout.
SPLOSTs are special local sales taxes that fund projects like roads, schools, and parks. Higdon says that low turnout isn't because people don't care about the issues, but because people don't know about how important local races are.
The people that may not look at what's actually on the ballot, they'll just think, well, I just heard it was a public service commissioner. What does he actually do?
Of the voters who did show up, some were concerned about rising costs of power in the state.
They have so much requirement for power that they're having to they're going to be trying to subsidize that expense somehow. And I think it's going to come from the Georgia taxpayers.
Some cared about the future of their community and what they wanted to see improve.
More funding for our roads, things that, utilities, the things to make our county, our town, better, more accessible.
Everything that's in the news now, as far as people not getting benefits, people not being able to eat, kids not, being able to eat and everything.
And others said they vote every time they can, even if they don't feel like the races are the most important.
I believe it's every citizen's responsibility to vote whenever there's an opportunity.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Zach Pascuzzi.
It gives it a spotlight for sure. People get to meet you face to face, and that helps people to connect with the product better. And then also other people can find out where your product is located around the county.
Braswell is attending the Harvest Festival. The owner of Proverbs 31 Farmstead sells products like soap and lotion, all made from raw milk.
I one day decided that I would like a dairy cow, and then I had a ton of extra milk, and I had to find things to do with it.
The Madison County Chamber of Commerce says the Harvest Festival is a demonstration of the county's commitment to its small business owners.
I actually got a scholarship from the Chamber of Commerce when I first started my business about 5 years ago. They've been really, really good to me and helpful.
Jill Parham, president of the Chamber, says that small business owners are the ones who give back to the community in the biggest ways.
They're going to show up on a volunteer level at civic organizations. They're going to make donations to local Little League teams. they're going to be the ones that are, spending their money here in Madison County too, because they understand how important it is to shop local.
Parham said that more dollars getting spent in Madison County at local businesses creates more tax revenue, which drives growth and helps fund improvements to roads, schools, and other infrastructure.
We really want to help drive money spending here in Madison County, and every time you support a small business, you're doing that. If they're thriving and doing well, then the entire community is thriving and doing well.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Zach Pascuzzi. To help reduce the number of stray animals they take in, Madison Oglethorpe Animal Shelter is operating a Spay It Forward program.
A lot of people have animals, they can't afford to get it fixed for $600, $700, and then the animal runs off, or they have a male and female and they wind up with an accidental litter. Those litters come here.
Besides reducing pet overpopulation, the program allows low-income individuals from Madison and Oglethorpe counties to spay and neuter their pets at affordable costs.
The spay and neuter clinics are a wonderful thing, and I highly encourage people on a daily basis to have that done.
Reducing the number of unwanted animals will also prevent the number of abandoned or abused animals from rising.
We've had a couple where some dogs have been starved pretty bad. Tying dogs up, really short chains out in the woods.
The Spay It Forward initiative helps the shelter fulfill its original mission when it was founded, to help as many pets as possible.
It was in response to not having animal control, having nuisance animals running around. So we became a shelter as a response to that issue.
Interested residents can find more information about how to sign up for spaying and neutering services at moaspets.com. For Grady Newsource, I'm Zach Pascuzzi.